Big Ten Western Division champs back to back. MarkRogersTV, the voice of college football, looking at Northwestern football for 2019. We are ranking all the schedules as we do each and every off season. This is something I love to do, whether you like it or not. A lot of people don't seem to respond to schedule rankings, but I love ranking the schedules. And I apologize that we had a bit of a gap in our series. We rank all the schedules from 70 all the way up to number 1. It's been a few weeks since we released our last one, but we're getting there now down to schedule number 16. I encourage you to do your Amazon shopping using the link in the description section below. Like, comment, share the videos, and also, of course, subscribe right here. If you're coming across our channel for the first time, dive into the videos. We posted over 8,000, about 150 per month. We believe we do our best to provide the best in college football analysis, discussion, and debate. We've got call-in shows. We have analysis from myself. I bring on beat writers to talk specific teams. We've got it covered as much as we possibly can in the Power 5 in particular. All right, rating the schedule. Schedule number 16 belongs to the Northwestern Wildcats. All right, they played Christian McCaffrey in 2015, that team at Stanford, and they pulled off a double-digit upset as an underdog at home and winning at Ryan Field 16-6 was the final score. Very lazy game, first game of the season, noon game, and that cost Stanford later in the season. Well, the Cardinals get their chance at payback at home 4 years later against Northwestern, as that was a bit of a split home and home series. But this is one of the games that I anticipate and want to see. Yes, we're talking LSU and Texas, Auburn, Oregon, a lot of the big matchups, Notre Dame, Michigan, Notre Dame, Georgia. Is huge games I really want to see. But this is one under the radar that I think is going to be tremendous. Northwestern at Stanford on the opening weekend of the season. Then they've got an open date, so they can rest up after the Stanford game, and they get to rest up for UNLV. Well, if you know Northwestern's recent past, even when they've been able to challenge some of the best teams in the Big Ten, and even out of conference, a season like last year, where they went to the Big Ten championship game, they won a bowl game over Utah, who went to the Pac-12 championship game, but they lost to Akron. That's Northwestern football right there. So the open date before UNLV may serve them well, because my goodness, then they've got 3 toughies in a row in the Big Ten. They open Big Ten play against Michigan State at home. They go to Wisconsin, then they go to Nebraska. And if the Big Ten Western Division isn't going to be much clearer after those 3 games, then it's going to be a muddled mess, because at that point, having taken on possibly the 2 best teams in the division, both on the road, if Northwestern can somehow survive those 3 games at 2-1, they may be ready to go back to Indianapolis. Then they've got a bye week before going to back home. They've got Ohio State on a Friday night against the Buckeyes at Ryan Field on a Friday night. So upset alert definitely for Ohio State there. Then they've got Iowa at home, so a difficult 2-game stretch after the bye week, Ohio State, Iowa. Then the schedule definitely lightens up with Indiana on the road, Purdue at home. Not that those are give-me's for a Northwestern team that really has no give-me's. They're not that elite. They're not at that point where they can just look at anybody and just say, we're going to roll over them. They're at that place where they can be competitive against anyone, but they can lose to anyone. And so Indiana, Purdue, obviously a lighter touch than what they had previously played since late September with Michigan State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Iowa. But they cannot rest easy at that point. Going to Indiana, Purdue at home. Then they've got a bit of a break against UMass as their last non-conference game. And then Minnesota at home and Illinois as the annual rivalry game to close out the season on the road in Champaign, November 30th. So this is what makes Northwestern's schedule difficult. They've got Stanford on the road. So it's one of the more difficult Power 5 games among Big Ten teams, and it's on the road. They also have 3 difficult games in the Big Ten Eastern Division against Michigan State, Ohio State, and at Indiana. So Northwestern is facing the 3rd most difficult schedule in the Big Ten. It's number 16 in college football. And definitely leave your Northwestern record, your record projection for the Wildcats this season under Pat Fitzgerald down in the description section below. And we'll get to it right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.